What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to take a few moments and discuss my 2024 pedalboard. Um, I put this one together because I needed a pedalboard for playing at church on Sundays, but obviously it can be used for more than just that. And also wanted to start off with saying the board is the pedals are laying on a Temple Audio Trio 21 pedal board. I love this board. It's super sturdy. It's the perfect size for what I need. It's not too big or anything like that, and it's built like a tank. So love this board. And to start off with, the heart of this board is the Boss IR2, the amp and cab simulator. I love this pedal because one, it's small. You might hear me say that quite a bit on this video, but I love that the controls are on the pedal itself. There's no menu diving or anything like that. There's no press and hold this button. Everything is on the front panel, so any tweaking I need to make is right at my fingertips, which I absolutely love. I'm running this on a crunch setting, just because I like to run my my amps at the edge of breakup. Although when you hear in the tone sample, it's really not super dirty. It's relatively clean, because I've got the gain back down to about 930, and the levels around 230. So, but yeah, the Boss IR2 is amazing. It sounds incredible, and I'm super happy to have it. And then starting where the signal goes into, my guitar goes directly into a Sonic Research Turbo Tuner ST300 Mini. Great tuner. It's small, it's compact, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It works super well, tunes my guitar, and that's all I needed to do. And yeah, I just love the small footprint of it, and it's a sturdy pedal. Next, from the tuner, we're going to go into the Keeley Compressor Plus, which is an amazing compressor. I love it. Primarily using it pretty subtly, nothing too crazy going on. I love this compressor because I actually just recently started using compression because I really didn't understand it up until about a year or two ago. But I love how it levels my sound, just levels everything out, adds some sustain, and also it adds some top end sparkle to my tone, which I love. It's a little bit of boost as well, so I leave the compressor always on, and I love what it does to my sound. So from the Keeley compressor, we're going into the Jackson Audio Prism. Another one of my favorite pedals. I have this one set up as an amp. The amp setting, the toggle switch is on the amp, and the left toggle is on low. I'm essentially using this for kind of somewhat of a boost. Again, this is adding a little bit more top end to my tone, makes everything pushes everything up just a little bit from what the compressor was doing. Adds a little, not a ton of grit, but it adds just a little more of what I have with the amp and the compressor going. So it gives me just a little bit more of that, which I really like. And I have both these two pedals on at all times. And then from the Prism, we're going right down to the RC Booster from Exotic Effects, which has quickly become one of my favorite pedals. I love the RC Booster because it's just purely that. It's just a boost. But I also love that it's got the bass and treble EQ. I love that also it has the second gain stage as well, with that little blue LED right there. That's the second gain toggle. And this is just pushing what's already happening with the Boss compressor and the Prism. It's just giving way more of that over the edge, just really pushing the amp that much harder into overdrive. And then the second gain stage on here just gives me even more grit, which I absolutely love. It's not coloring my tone at all. It's just giving me way more of what I already have with the amp, and it sounds amazing, and it cleans up really well too. So highly recommend the RC booster, because it's a great boost. And from there, I believe we're going into the Dunlop volume pedal, the Mini VP. I love this volume pedal. I was using the Ernie Ball volume pedal, the VP Junior, for a long time, probably about 10 years. And I still have it, honestly. I prefer the smaller footprint of the Dunlop. I also like that it doesn't have the string. Believe it or not, I only had the Ernie Ball string break. In the 10 years I've had it, it's only broken twice on me. So, yeah, so that was pretty good odds. But this one, I don't have to worry about a string at all. It's a very rugged design. Like I said, smaller footprint, which I love. And yeah, it's just, I use it mostly for volume swells. Because whenever I need to turn my guitar volume off, I just use the volume knob on my guitar. So I primarily use that for volume swells and whatnot. And yeah, it's just, it holds up. Next, we are going to go to the TC Electronics Sub-N-Up. This is a awesome octave pedal. One cool feature of it that I don't use, but I think it's a cool feature. It has the sub 2, they call it. So it's you've got the octave up, octave down, and then a double octave down, which I think is really cool. Again, I don't use it. I don't have a need for it. But it's a pretty cool feature. Yeah, so I use the Sub-N-Up primarily for beefing up a lead line, or my favorite use for it is volume swells. Just gives that added extra texture that I love. It just sounds great. I've got the dry signal all the way up because I like having my entire dry signal as a part of the octave with it too. So it's a nice level combination that I really like, and it's a fantastic pedal. And then from the Sub-N-Up, we're going right into the IR2, which I've already talked about. And then out of the IR2, I'm going out stereo into the Walrus Audio D1 version 2 delay pedal. I've recently switched over to this one from another delay I was using prior. I switched over to the D1 primarily because I only found myself using 3 different subdivisions of delay, which is quarter note, eighth note, and dotted eighth note delay. I wasn't using anything else other than those 3. And again, it's just a smaller pedal, which I appreciate. And I really only use, I'm a big fan of analog delay, and I really only use, I believe it's called, the D1 calls it a vintage delay. I really only use that setting on this pedal. I sometimes use digital delay. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. So I think out of all the presets I have on this one, I think it's primarily just all analog. But I love how, like I said, how small it is. I love that I'm utilizing most of this pedal, I'll say. Yeah, it's just a great, well-built pedal. It sounds awesome. And I'll explain how I use it too in a sec with the MC6. But from the D1, obviously I'm going into the Strymon Big Sky, which is probably my favorite reverb pedal of all time. It can do literally anything, any type of reverb that you would want. it can do. And I very much appreciate that. So yeah, and then from the Big Sky, I take that stereo out into front of house, or in this case, my interface for recording. And then last, I have the Morningstar MC6 MIDI controller. I'm not necessarily utilizing this for all that it can do, but I am using it for presets on the D1 and the Big Sky, and the way I have set that up might be a little bit hard to see on the screen here, but so essentially I've got 3 buttons programmed for my different delay types. So I've got a 1 button programmed for a quarter note delay, a short and a long. I have toggle between short and long. A dotted eighth, short and long, that I toggle between, and same thing with an eighth note between short and long. And that just helps me so that way I don't have to. I found myself again, programming in the same delay types every single week, and I got tired of doing that, to be honest. So I found a more of a streamlined way to get the same delay sounds for the songs that I need without having to constantly dial in new sounds. So that's where the short and long toggle come in between each delay type. And then when I need to set it to a specific BPM, I do that with this button I have programmed as tap. So if it's like a long dotted eighth delay, I just tap it in, to the song, and it's good to go. And then for reverb, I actually have it set as a preset scroll, I believe, or a scroll parameter, whatever they call it. So I don't have to dial in my reverbs anymore either, because I've got D set up to add, for more reverb, and then A is to take away more reverb. So I'm just scrolling through presets, if you can see that changing there. So I'm going up. So I've got, primarily I use this hall setting, these 2 hall settings right here, and I use this cloud for a swell patch. And then I've got a plate, medium, long, bloom, short, medium, long, cloud, short, medium, long, and then I can just scroll back through, and all of my reverbs are right there. And same with the delays: short, long, quarter note, short, long, eighth note, dotted eighth note, short, long, eighth note, and then like I said, just tap. You can see it the light changing as I'm tapping. So yeah, that's pretty much my board. And I've got sound samples to follow, so stay tuned for that.